Everyone, welcome to MLS Now. I'm Greg Lalas alongside Andrew Wiebe. This is the grand finale of our four-part series when we're taking a look at some of the team needs this offseason as the MLS clubs prepare for 2015. Part 4, we look at the second half of the Western Conference, including a couple of new teams.
Yeah, some new boys.
Right? Kansas City and Houston joining the Western Conference in 2015. Now, this is how this works. You probably know this already. Andrew's going to get 20 seconds on the clock to get his thoughts in about what the team needs.
I'm a well-oiled machine. I'm hitting 20.
At this point, you're a genius. All right, we're going to start with a team that has gone over one of the biggest makeovers this offseason already that we've seen in a long time. Real Salt Lake. General manager Garth Lagerwey, he's out. Craig Wiebe's in as the technical director. Jamison Olave returns. Nat Fortress, Chris Winger, they're gone. What do they need to do this offseason?
Rebuilding, but it's left back. Chris Wingert is gone. I think they had some reinforcements in midfield. Those shuttlers, if they stick with the diamond, that is. But you've got to find a starting left back for them. So much continuity, you mentioned it. That's what they've thrived on. Can they replicate it? Can they keep it going? That's the big question mark, number one for them. And then for me, attacking talent. Will they change formations from the diamond? And there's my time.
Well, you're out of time already.
Well,
that's a good question, though. Will they change it from the diamond? It's true. And a lot of that depends on Javier Morales, his health throughout the season, and Luis Gil. Are they going to give him the keys to the bus in this one to let him start to drive a little bit more? We'll see how that works out. All right, let's move on now to the RSL's biggest rivals, the Colorado Rapids, a team that really struggled in 2014. They need to make some changes. They need to do something. What do they need to do most?
Like they had the worst defense in MLS. So that's the number one priority if you're Pablo Mastroeni. And the Rapids, a new sporting director for them as well. So that's something to watch. It's got to be at center back. Drew Moore, health unknowns that night. We don't know how good he'll actually be. We don't know where Shane O'Neill will play. Also, Jose Maria on the way back to Spain. So center defensive mid, that's another place to reinforce.
But I think also, who's going to score the goals? Yeah, they've got some talent. They've got some attacking talent in the midfield in particular. Some young talent. I think about Cerna, for example. But who's going to score the goals?
Got to get the best out of Dylan Powers. And look, Deshaun Brown, he's got back-to-back seasons of 10 goals to start his career. But you need more. Need Vicente Sanchez to stay healthy.
Good point right there. All right, Colorado done. Let's move on to FC Dallas, a team that did very well in 2014, had a great year under Oscar Pareja in his first year in charge at FCD. What do they need to do in this offseason to get over that hump, maybe get a little further in the playoffs?
Well, they need that lucky rabbit's foot to really work for Mauro Diaz. If he's healthy, this team can challenge for the top in the Western Conference. I actually think they're pretty good as far as roster needs go. Maybe some depth at center defensive midfield. Victor Ulloa, he's a young guy. You can't lean on him probably as much as you did last year. Michel is getting older. And then Henry Thomas, will he come back? You don't know. That's a place to reinforce for them. Other than that, well, there's my time.
Well, the back line also, of course, Hedges turning into a fantastic player. And Acosta, young Kellen Acosta, coming into his own. I'd like to see him getting even more time in 2015.
He could be the solution at center defensive mid, but he's young, once again.
He's still young. All right, now we'll get to the first of the two teams that have moved over to the Western Conference, the Houston Dynamo. New coach, new sporting director, new outlook on everything.
Wait, turnover, that's a theme, huh?
Yes, turnover in particular in Houston in this case. Now that Owen Coyle, former EPL coach with Burnley and Bolton Wanderers, he's in as the head coach. What does he need to do?
Well, I think things are going to change a little bit for them. We mentioned the 4-4-2 with Dom Kinnear in a previous episode of this. I think they'll go away from that single forward up top, but number one, center backs. You've got to get a game changer there, Kendall Waston there. And then I think up top, Will Bruin, if it's a one-forward system, hasn't shown that's his forte. And with Omar Cummings on, you want to get some speed as well. Hit it right on the button.
Right? I would like to see actually them go to a two-forward setup a little bit more and see Bruin and Giles Barnes together working up top. There's a lot of big bodies up there that could bang. And we know that Owen Coyle isn't afraid to actually have his teams put the ball into the box as much as possible. So we'll see how that works out. And finally, this is it. The last one that we're going to be doing in this whole series. Sporting Kansas City, a team that obviously did so well in 2013, won the MLS Cup in 2014, a little bit of a down year, struggled with injuries, you know, Graham Zusi and Matt Beasley going off to the World Cup.
I'm going to call it a down second half, because if you remember, they were Supporters' Shield candidates early on.
That's true, they did, and then they struggled down the stretch. So there have been some changes. Aurelien Collin is gone. Everyone loved him. He's gone to Orlando. What happens with Kansas City? What do they need?
Well, there are going to be more changes. I mentioned turnover with some of the other teams. Rob Heineman is hinting at it. This thing is going to go through a real revamping. Roger Espinoza probably in, but number one, goalkeeper.
Yep.
Young homegrown John Kimpen, he's the only guy there. Rumors have it Chilean Luis Marin could come in and be the number one. Look, we know internationals have worked out before. Jimmy Nielsen, so it's goalkeeper. That's their number one need.
Well, I think they're going to start to have to find more goals from their forwards.
Yep.
Other than Dom Dwyer. He had such a fantastic year in 2014. Can they get more support for him up top in that attacking role?
Look, expect moves.
Zusi had a down year. Sapong is gone, so who's going to be the other guy to score goals?
Suni Saad probably gone as well. They've got draft picks, so they're saying they're going to trade him. This is a team to watch if you like the transfer market.
It's going to be fun in this offseason as we head toward the 2015 MLS season. All right, well, that's it for our series here. We've gone through all 4 parts. For Andrew Wiebe and Jason Seguini, who's somewhere around, who hosted the first 2 parts, I'm Greg Lalas from MLSsoccer.com. You've been watching MLS Now.